All right, good afternoon to everyone and welcome to the 5th annual Dean's Cup. We are the Knights of Architecture. I'm Eduardo Ponce, Vice President, and this is our President, Vicente Carrasco. Sorry. A little bit about us. We are one of three student organizations here in the college, and our main function here is to kind of grab all the years and start mixing everyone together so we can get to know each other in between all the years. That way the floors don't keep us separated all the time. As far as Dean's Cup, Vicente will fill you in on the prompt.
Okay. Well. Thanks. Okay. Well, Dean's Cup, this is our second year doing it as Knights. Before, the college mainly kind of took control of it. As he said, this is the 5th year of it being done in the college. It started, I think, my freshman year, if not the year before. Cooper Schilder and Stephanie Bunt are the ones who created the prompt, and they did this since they graduated last semester. They couldn't take part in the competition. So I just barely found out the prompt myself yesterday or 2 days ago, and I'm the only one in this college or state who actually knows the prompt. So just to let you know, no one in our, none of our officers have an unfair advantage or anything like that. I won't be participating myself. First thing we have is Cooper made a video, just kind of introduce it, and then after that we'll actually have a presentation, and I'll actually explain all the rules, and you guys can then ask me any questions. And then afterwards, if anyone wants to participate, I actually have the prompt right here written down with all the, with some of the information on there. It doesn't have the rules or the submission requirements. That is actually on the wiki. It would have been too long to print out. It is on the wiki homepage, arc.ttu.edu. It should be right there on the homepage, listed as Dean Cup 2014. And I guess let's go ahead and reveal the prompt. Okay. But yeah, there's the prompt. So you guys have to design an escape pod spacecraft for 2 people to leave an uninhabitable Earth, must explain day-to-day activities and life support systems through rough diagrams. So you guys have the freedom to actually, and this is just like a diagram example. So the considerations. These are things that you guys should consider, but you guys are allowed to explore outside of this realm. So what in space could become the new human environment, or could it? What would the destination be if there is one? How would we adapt to space or the environment? Possible life forms. Can the actual spacecraft grow? What necessities would be required? Propulsion systems, colony for destination if there is one, and landing system if needed. And of course, you are more than welcome to explore outside of these restrictions. Okay, requirements. This is something that we need to have. We need plan, section, conceptual diagrams, and the description. So the description is crucial. Since this is more of an ideas competition, it's not so much about the presentation or the graphics or anything. It's more about the concept and the ideas and the way you guys actually develop this new spacecraft. Because we're trying to keep it fair for everyone to actually submit. So freshmen should be able to have like an equal weight as far as competition is concerned compared to like a grad student, since we're not really considering so much technical detail as much as the actual idea itself. So it's pretty free and it's pretty free for anyone to interpret. And suggestions, you guys can submit a model. They can be study models or more formal models. They need to conform to a 6x6x6 cube, that general volume, and 3D renderings or drawings. All right, the submission, the models. Like I said, you can submit a model if you wish. It is not required. Though for the boards, for the actual submission, you cannot submit the project. You cannot submit the model to actually be judged. What will be judged will be photos. Since, if everyone were to turn in models, that's a lot of models for the judges to kind of sift through. So we're encouraging you guys to take photos and put them on your boards. For your boards, you can submit up to 3, but at least 1 20 by 20 inch boards. They must be printed and submitted both analog and digitally. The digital drawings will need to be submitted to an email, which will be explained later. And then, of course, like I said earlier, you have to include the project statement. The purpose and function of your design is the primary object of this competition, and a written statement is required on the submission boards. All right, the requirements. You may either enter as an individual or as groups. Though, if you guys decide to if somebody is an individual, they cannot also take part in a group. So one person can only do one submission. The groups can be up to groups of 3 individuals, no more than that. And in order to keep it anonymous for the judging and for there not to be any, biasness, any bias, we encourage you guys, or you guys are required to create a 6-character code. The example right here shows you. It has to be in this format. You guys have to just generate yourself. Use 3 letters and 3 numbers. And whenever you guys actually submit it, you will have to submit it using a student-provided envelope, a sealed envelope, with the generated code on the front printed. And within the envelope, you will actually put your year and your team members and the class status, your year. And that is required if you are both here at this college or if you are submitting from El Paso. And we're actually recording this for the El Paso Kids and Houston program. Okay, disqualifications. Submissions that include names or any recognizable means of identification will be disqualified from the competition and therefore ineligible for judging. And all work submitted is limited to the time period of this competition. Any previous work will not be accepted. And if we recognize any of this work, you guys will be disqualified. And judging, since this is the Dean's Cup, the deans will be judging this. So Dean Vernoy, Dr. Ellis, and Professor Privolini will be judging this, hopefully within 2 weeks, though we're not rushing them. And the awards will be the overall Dean's Cup winner, the undergrad runner-up, and the grad runner-up. Though at the judge's discretion, they may Also award honorable mentions. Okay, the schedule. So it's released right now. After this, we will have the marshmallow roast outside. It is due Monday morning at, this says not, 8, but we're going to make it 9, just to give you guys some time to print. And though that's not exactly strict, you know, but make sure it's in there by 9. We will probably won't pick it up until about 9:30, just to kind of give you guys more time, but 9's the number you guys should be remembering. It will be submitted to the faculty lounge, room 1001 on the 10th floor, and we will have a box there, and any models you guys will submit needs to be pretty close to the box, and the box is only for prints. And then the actual award ceremony is to be determined, since it just depends how many submissions we have and how long it will take the judges to actually judge them. Do you guys have any questions about the prompt, about the rules, about anything whatsoever?
Are you posting this?
Yeah, the video and the PowerPoint or the PDF will be posted on to the wiki. Just follow the link on the homepage. And also, hopefully we'll have a video of this also posted on there for, so that way, you know, you guys have a record of the questions. Any more questions?
I just want some clarification. Are you seeking plans and sections of the actual piece that you would try to make, or
The project itself is the shuttle. Yeah. And of course, you know, whether or not it can actually transform and anything like that. Everything else is just details to kind of, you know, help with your storyline and kind of help with this whole concept. Let me go back to the beginning. So yeah, everything is mainly about the escape pod for two people to leave an uninhabitable Earth. And then, of course, with diagrams, you need to explain all the other conditions that we described, you know, day-to-day activities, the necessities that we require, propulsion systems. I mean, the plan and sections and everything, those things are for sure required. Everything else is just kind of like anything to help your idea kind of, you know, speak for the judges, you know, since you won't be there to actually present. Make sure you have everything on the board. Yeah.
To a certain extent, we need to rely on existing or proposed technologies, or is there some flexibility for imagination in that regard?
That's up to you, really. I mean, use your imagination, you know. This is a 3-day competition. We're not exactly expecting you guys to actually research, you know, all these different type of technologies that can go into this. This should be a pretty quick thing, you know, come up with the idea and then you work on the actual plan sections, the elevations. Like I said before, this is an ideas competition so much, more than actually like the technical side of, you know, making a project. Yeah. Any other questions? All right, I forgot to mention also the prizes include a spread and crop. Whenever that gets published pretty soon, I think there's one getting published this semester. You'll get a spread there, and also you will get a collection of books, a few books, I think 2. And that's, of course, is to the discretion of the judges who gets what. All right. Any more questions? Yeah.
What's the scale you classify as a pod?
That's whatever you think it is. It has to just, you know, house 2 people. Like we said before, can a spacecraft grow? So there is definitely, you know, room for the size. I mean, there's definitely flexibility when it comes to the size requirements. Like, don't get bogged down by what you think an actual spacecraft is, like this right here. Definitely feel free to actually, you know, experiment and go outside of the bounds. But make it kind of realistic. I mean, not scratch that. Yeah, just do whatever you guys basically want to do. Okay, so yeah, something like the prompt: 2 people need to leave. Day-to-day activity, support systems, through diagrams. Those are the real requirements right there, and they have to be illustrated through this plan sections, elevations, and diagrams. Yeah.
Is it just 2? Could it be more? Could it,
Just two, because this is an escape pod. It's not an actual living situation. You could end up going somewhere else, maybe to like a colony, drifting in space, or to another planet. That's up to you. This is just a transport mainly. Though it can, of course, it just depends where you want to go. Maybe transform into a bigger thing, or maybe connect onto another kind of spaceport or something. That's all at your discretion. But as far as the pod is concerned, it is an escape pod for the two people to leave. And after they leave, whatever that thing ends up doing is up to you. Any more questions? All right. Well, anyone interested? Come up here and get one of these information forms.